Here we go. Hey everybody, how are you doing? I'm hoping that everybody can hear me. Looks like my little duder is working, so that's good. It's been a hot minute. Yay! Let's see. Hey Drax, and yes, I am feeling better today. A little on the tired side, but definitely much better than the 2-day long headache, which, seriously, really? Who made that a thing? Hey Hesty! Captain! Yes, you can have a donut. We have, let's see, I know we have a dozen of the original glazed in the freezer, so I can heat one of those up. I think we still have the cinnamon roll ones available. And, yeah. And they also sent JJ a, coupon. They're like, if you go there now, we'll give you another dozen glazed for $2. And we're like, no, we don't. We already have a dozen in the freezer. What are we going to do with? No. Oh my goodness. Maybe like in 6 months we'll be ready for more. What the hell? My goodness. They're like, you like donuts? We have donuts. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a skibbity day. I know Captain's having a skibbity day. No, Captain's not having a skibbity day? Aw, that's a bummer. Chand! Hi, how are you? It's true, Hesty. We could have 2 dozen in the freezer. Oh, it's a Wiglet day. How about a Skibbity Wiglet? So if I remember correctly, we have 1, maybe 2 nights left on this, so it should be a shorter-ish stream. If it's super short, I might do a tiny little bit of art, but I don't want to push it too much. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not. I hope I don't spend $1,000 on that game. But that is nice that they're giving VIP. But, oof, that is a lot. But I want to say the Chinese market had to spend the equivalent of 2,000 to get VIP there. So yeah, this is the game that owns Hot Boys. There was all kinds of drama because in China they gave out these little VIP packages to the Chinese people, and and everybody who wasn't in China was like, oh my goodness, that's terrible, why didn't they give them to me? And it's like, guys, you don't have to have everything. The majority of the people that play this game and spend money on this game are in China. And literally any business starts with the local before they roll out to larger. But they were just like, so much drama. And it was like, guys, this isn't something that you bought. This was just a nice thing they did. So like, calm down. Nobody owes you anything. There were literally people on Reddit being like, my rights say. And I'm like, first of all, you don't have any rights in China because you are very clearly American. Secondly, you don't have rights from anybody to get a free gift from them. Also, they did confirm Caleb. I'm not sure what I feel about Caleb. I'm just like, Caleb struck me as a little too arrogant. I don't know. Flyboy is how I described it to JJ. I was like, very Tom Cruise, Top Gun kind of feeling. And I'm just like, no, I don't. Yeah, the sibling coded thing is really weird too. It's a little more understandable because that's a little more acceptable-ish in like Asia anime kind of thing, but which I have my own thoughts on that. Like, the same people who will be like, oh my gosh, they grew up together in the same house, how can they date? Will also be like, and they fell in love with their best friend who was a neighbor who they saw every day, and that's just so romantic. And I'm like, no, you can't have it both ways. You pick one or the other. Like, because it's the same thing. You just happen to be sleeping closer together, like a couple feet closer if you're in the house versus next door. So, like, you got a childhood sweetheart is kind of real close on that, especially if you're spending every day with them. So, like, but yeah, but there are some people who are so excited for Caleb, and I'm like, oh, okay, you go, girls. We all deserve to have the dream pixel boy that we want, and good for you. Good for you. I like my dream pixel boy, thank you. I'll just stick to him. True. I will say, I think SAO gets a lot more hate than it should get. Because I think a lot of people, it was like their first anime, and they'd never seen a lot of this stuff, because if you actually go back and kind of look at it, it's like, this is not uncommon in anime, so, like, I don't know. Because I do like SAO. It definitely had some issues as it has gone on, but my biggest issue is, why didn't they stay in the video game longer? That was the really good part. But yeah, I do think it gets a little unnecessary hate. Gun Gale Online was really good, and they're putting out season 2, so I'm excited to see how that goes. Yeah, SAO has really good and then really bad. It's very, very highs, very lows, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Drax, I agree. A lot of animes do that where they're like, we're going to introduce this really badass female character. And then once the guy and the girl are dating, all of a sudden she's made in distress and couldn't do anything. It's like, wait, what happened to her, like, kicking ass last season? Does that, no? Okay. Cool. Yes. Gun Gale was really fun. It was a nice step back from kind of the crazies otherwise. Because it was a little bit more focused story. I will say I did read about one of the reasons that they spent so little time in the video game is because initially it was a competition piece for the author. And they had like a word or page limit. And so it was supposed to be a very, very short story. And so they're like, trying to squeeze this whole idea there. And then they had to, once it kind of took off, they had to expand on this idea, but yeah, in a fast-paced manner. So it didn't adapt very well from teeny tiny story to big anime. But yeah. Let's see. Remind me, Captain Rukia's the short girl that likes bunnies. That teaches Ichigo all this stuff. Because I feel like she was never very damsel in distress as much as just in a pinch. She's always been pretty badass. And Burbo! Since you have no audio, I will say hey in chat. I can do this. I can find my emote. There it is. Jan. I promise we'll get to coffee talk. Oh, I forgot the let's go emote. Oh, she's a cute little anime character. That show has a little bit of problem with no, not every female needs to swoon over this guy. Calm down. But her character is adorable. Love her. I feel like JJ and I were talking about Bleach, and I feel like it could really benefit from redo. Like, what are those? Like a rerun. Just starting over, getting a little bit more modern animation going on, and cut out half of the anime, which is just filler junk that really, come on. I think it'd do really well then. Shield Hero has this really interesting idea, and I liked Season 1 a lot. Season 2 left me going, okay. And I'm just like, kind of, we'll see where we're going here. There's some interesting ideas, but it is bothering me that I hate when an anime's like, and now it's all going to be about we all want to get in the guy's pants. It's like, come on. True, Captain. Delicious in Dungeon was amazing. And I can't wait for the next season. That's going to be so good. I have some different ones, and I actually came up with this genius. You're getting a tattoo for Delicious in Dungeon? Let's go. Is it going to be Senshi's panties? This is the real question. Oh, okay. Well, that's what Chand will get. Oh, but I had an idea last night. I was like, maybe on days that I'm a little too sick to stream but still want to hang out, that will be the days when on the Discord I will open up the theater and we'll watch some anime. Which, by the way, that reminds me. I has Discord. JJ and I worked on it for quite a while. I know a couple of you are already in it, but yeah, we have a nice little Discord so you can kind of keep up with things a little bit more. And I have one of the things I have there is set up for a theater where nobody talks, we just watch anime and we can chat at each other and whatnot. Very fun. And, Crunchyroll subscription, so all the animes. Which I had to decide which one. If we wanted, the thing that made me think about it was Delicious in Dungeon. There's an anime we watched earlier this year. I believe it's Campfire Cooking in Another World, if I remember correctly, because, most of my stuff is, I like a good isekai. It's just, yeah, let's make it real crazy here. Let's go fantasy, But it was actually really interesting because it felt very much like Delicious in Dungeon, where they sit there and go bit by bit, and they're like, okay, let's work through this recipe with you and kind of walk you through how to make this food. And it was so much fun. The only problem is I'd be like, okay, I want that. And I'd be like, JJ, go look up the recipe, put it on next week's menu, please. I need to try that. It looks delicious. Frieren was good. I will say, though, it went slow at the beginning. Oh my goodness. I actually would watch an episode, then we'd go watch something else, and then we'd watch an episode and watch something else. And it wasn't until about halfway through the first season that I was like, okay, we can watch this whole thing. But it was very slow, which was fine, but it was also kind of emotional too, and I was like, no, I don't need to be this sad all the time. But yeah, it really picked up around the halfway point. Really enjoyed that one. Another one that everybody needs to watch is Not Allowed in Another World. Oh my goodness. I mean, it was so much fun. It was... The only thing is, if you have any qualms about suicide, don't watch it, but otherwise, it's so much fun. It really is, Esty. JJ and I are constantly going, Itai, Itai, Itai. It's just like, yeah, in pain, whatever. But yeah, that one, I was like, this looks interesting. It looks up my alley, but I wasn't expecting it to be that good. And it was really nice because I think the anime we had watched just before that, it looked like it was going to be really good. And this anime fucking tortured me because they'd introduce this really interesting idea at the beginning of an episode. And you'd be like, oh my God, this is really cool. I've not seen this before. How is this going to happen? By halfway through the episode, they'd just be like, and that's solved. And you're like, wait, what? Okay, well, maybe something else. And they'd introduce something else. You're like, okay. Oh, I can't remember what it was, Hesty, but it was so annoying because the potential of the ideas, so many anime are really good, but they kind of all have similar ideas. And you're like, okay, I'd like a new twist or whatnot. And this one had so many good ideas that they just went, Yeah, no. Was it something to do with doors? I think it was something to do with doors. Because the guy went into a door after defeating, like, it opens up with him defeating, like, a big boss, and then a new door open. Is it New Doors or something? New Gate. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Yes. It was so frustrating because it was just... It had so many interesting ideas. I would, like, pause it and be like, this is such a cool idea. And I'd talk through it and then be like, I can't wait to see how it goes. And JJ'd go, nodders. And then, thank you, JJ. And we'd play, and it'd just be like, it was so frustrating because it had such good potential that they just would then yeet over their shoulder like, well, that was fun. And I'm like, no, why? Interesting. I will have to write that one down. Let's see. I will say the most recent one that blew my mind was the Raven doesn't choose its master. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting a whole lot out of this, but it is the first show of any type in a very, very long time that actually surprised me. Like, normally I'm like, okay, and now they're going to do this, and I can usually pick out things, but I was not seeing so many of things in The Raven Doesn't Choose His Master. I was like, they're not going typical here? Drax, did you get to watch The Raven? Is that the one that you're talking about? Because I was really impressed. I was like, congratulations! Okay, got it. Yeah, I was really impressed with that one. I actually only put it in the queue because it kind of looks similar to an anime we watched earlier this year, Apothecary Diaries, which was so fun. That was so funny, and it was great. It was, let's see, a couple of years ago. How long was it ago? Does anybody else feel like 2020 was yesterday? Because I certainly do. And so I'm like, just recently. But I want to say it was in 2020 or 2021. I really got into watching Chinese and Korean harem dramas, which were really fun. They're more about political intrigue than anything else. Like, I'm trying to think, out of all the things I've watched, I might have seen one, maybe two kisses. And these things are like long, in-depth things, like very much not about the romance, more about the political, and it was just really interesting. So when I saw Apothecary Diaries, it was set in that kind of a situation, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And it really reminded me of that, but with a nice comedy sort of twist to it. It was so good. And so then when I saw Raven, I was like, ooh, this looks like it's going to be similar. And I'm like, no, this is not similar at all, but oh my goodness, it's so good. Yeah, I'm one of those people who still thinks that they're in 2000 because that's a really easy number to deal with. And I got really annoyed recently because I turned on an oldie station while we were driving somewhere. And they're like, all right, here, let's turn on some oldies. And I'm like, no, No. That's not oldies. That's music from when I was in college. Like, this is not acceptable. I am not that old. I mean, I am, but no. What happened? Why? But yeah. Jan, what you been doing? What you been doing? Let's see. Eventually. There we go. Thank you, Jan. I assume this is what you would like me to start streaming on my Tuesday, Thursday main game days. Because if so, you got that. It's such a cute looking little game. Thank you so much, Chan. Chan is too sweet. Yeah, Hesty, my problem is that my music taste is already super old. And so then hearing that music that came out during college is now oldies, I'm like, no. Like, why me? Why? Or no, Captain, what did you give Jan this time? Oh, which, in case you haven't seen on Discord, I came up with, lawnmower game. Let's go. Come on. I've got categories for each of the days, that I'd like to stream. And, let's see. Mondays will be art days. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be whatever main game. So right now it's coffee talk, but this should finish today. So we'll probably start with, Love Ghosty next. Wednesday will be something that's interactive with Twitch chat, because I always enjoy streams where, as a chatter, you get to be a little bit more interactive. So, what was it? King of the Castle or something? I always get the name wrong. That kind of thing. And if it's a really low energy or I just feel like it, words on stream, because I really like playing that game a lot. But just something that's a little bit more interactive. And then on Fridays, I want to make that Friendship Friday, which default will probably be to JJ, and those will be later streams, most likely. That way, but it'll be default him, because I can just, walk over and go, you have to play game with me. But definitely with other friends too. That way I have a nice mix of things. So I'm excited. But I like how this turned into just a chatting stream. Exactly. Yeah, I've got TBD right now for this week, Thursday and Friday, because I'm waiting to see what kind of Black Friday sale they pull out for Steam. Because I have my eye on a game I'd like us to play, and we'll see how that goes, if that ends up. If not, we'll pick another game, but yeah. And then excitingly, hopefully Christmas, we'll be able to get our new computers. It's just a matter of picking out all the pieces, and then ordering the pieces, and then putting together. So, 2025, 2026, one of those, the new computers will be ordered up and running. And then we can actually play more on stream, because there's like games like Valheim and Deep Rock Galactic we'll play, and it's like, that'd be really fun to stream, but my laptop's like, you can play the game or you can have OBS. You cannot do both with this. That's a no. And I'm like, fine. So I wonder what Chan's going to be playing to that Captain Center, because she's definitely going to play it on stream for us. I believe it's Build Ourselves, Hesty. Have a good meeting, Captain. No, you can't steal my identity unless you're going to give me your paycheck from work. Because if you're going to be me at your job, I should get paid. Just saying. Yeah, so I'm excited when that happens, because I'll be able to actually do games that are a little more hefty, and, granted, so many games these days are like, you need to have an insanely crazy computer to run these, and it's like, why? Do you want people to play your game? Do you? Because, there's 12 people who have a computer that can run your game. Really. JJ built his last one well over a decade ago, which is why he can't stream or do anything on his, because it's so old. It is very, very old. So yeah. And I want to say I helped him a little bit with that. And I do have a degree in that. It's just, not really used. But, I have a paper that says I know how to do that. It might be lies, but, it is there. I knew it at one point. Anyways, we should make some coffee. Let's see, am I continuing or loading game? I think continue, or is it load game? We'll try load game. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Continue. We're gonna go with continue. Let's see. Wednesday, September 30th. Protests arrive over government treatment of Atlantic immigrants. Dwarven-made cars face challenge against unexpected competitor, and Mother Earth organizations fight to save more forests. Yeah, I'm JJ's doing the part finding, Hesty. and he's almost finished. I'm like, oh yeah, I actually know a place to get all this stuff, and all oops. My bad. Guess I should have told you that when you started. Oh well. Let's see. First, we are on this day. We gotta catch up on this crazy lady's stories, Freya. Let's see. I think. Have we read this one? I know we read the Cyberpunk Love Hotel. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. So... we might not have read this one, so we'll try to catch up on the stories. I should have been reading these every day that we are playing. but, because I went back later and I'm like, oh, I should read these. And I was like, what on earth? They're very entertaining. Anxious boy and his love stories on public transport. The day was hot, sunny, and humid, just like most days in Jakarta. I was standing inside a crowded bus, neither well-functioning air conditioning nor proper ventilation, trying to keep myself productive in the uncomfortable environment by reading my recently bought copy of Haruki Harukami's The Elephant Vanishes while listening to a random playlist on my old iPod. Despite the hellish conditions, you could say I was luckier than most because I was standing near the rear door of the bus. Excuse me, 1 minute. Okay, forgot to be drinking and definitely got dry throat there. All right, let's see. Leaning my back on the side of the seat. Seriously? Okay, hopefully that's better. And then one of the puppers like, let me empathy cough for you too. Thank you, sure. Okay, standing near the back of the bus. Leaning my back on the side of a seat, safe enough not to fall out of the bus, breezy enough to breathe freely. As mentioned, I was on a public bus in Jakarta, so naturally I needed to be wary with my surroundings, mostly keeping my belongings secure from pickpockets and other human pests. I glanced around the bus several times in between pages, and that was when I saw her. It's hard to describe her. She has no specific characteristics to differentiate her from other women. She was like the perfect example of the girl you walk past unseeing on the sidewalk every day. A girl you might glance at for a second, then a few steps later it would be hard to even remember her hair color, never mind what her eyes, nose, or mouth looked like. She was standing near the front door of the bus, not leaning on anything or anyone, not touching the bacteria-infested hand grip on the ceiling of the bus. Although, to be fair, it might have been hard for her to reach that grip anyway. But still, she stood there with the perfect balance of a tree rooted in healthy soil. She stood as if somebody had silently put the Venus de Milo on the bus, and she somehow fit perfectly without anyone noticing it happen. She was wearing a pair of earphones, wired, just like headphones were supposed to be. Freya, you have strong headphone opinions here? And a slight smile on her face. Sometimes she closed her eyes for a few moments, enjoying the music only she could hear. Her eyes rarely stayed in one place. They kept wandering around the bus, not too fast like someone anxious, not too slow like someone looking at something specific. Maybe she's the one, I thought. This isn't the first time a thought like this has crossed my mind. As a hopeless romantic, seeing any woman who piques my interest will immediately trigger a story in my imagination. Oh, brother. A story of how I'll approach them, get to know them, with the proviso that they're just as I imagined them to be. Start dating, get married, have kids, grow old in our home, and so on and so on. Random cuties, that's what I'll call them. Unicorns among horses. The term doesn't apply to any cute girl I see. Of course, it has to be someone special, or at least someone I imagine to be special. The thing is, automatically imagining those stories whenever I happen across a random cutie isn't healthy. True. At least he's aware. It puts a toll on my mind and, of course, my heart. It creates a lot of unhealthy expectations before any opportunities even arise. Oh, shit. She looked at me. We made eye contact for a brief flash of seconds. I immediately returned to my book. Did she notice me staring at her? Did she see what I was thinking? Yes, sir. She is absolutely a mind reader. Which, well, who knows? She might be in this universe. My mind won't stop spinning, overthinking, while my pulse beats double time in my ears. I continue staring at my book. With what's just happened, I obviously can't read it properly. My eyes were looking at the words, but nothing was being processed other than thoughts of her. I glanced back at her, and she was staring at me. Eye contact more than once. It has to mean something. Should I approach her and introduce myself? Yes, I should. But what if something goes wrong? What's the worst thing that could happen if we introduce ourselves? First, it's a crowded bus, and moving from the rear door to the front will definitely annoy people. Second, what if after we approach her, she becomes annoyed and... Oh, come on, you're overthinking as usual. Nothing bad will happen, even if she does get annoyed. Don't dismiss me. Nothing bad will happen. Well, she might scream and say I'm a pervert. And then the whole bus will beat me to death. Oh, and the worst option? What if we introduce herself and then it turns out she's not like we imagined her to be? All that time and energy will be wasted, exchanged for years of agony. This person? They are a drama queen in their mind. Oh, for everything will be fine. Don't worry so much. No matter what happens, second, we'll still have to try something first. No, there's too much risk. The debate is still raging inside my head, and that's when it happens. We make eye contact again. But this time, it lasts longer than a few seconds. And then she smiled at me. Just a small curve on those perfectly average, beautiful lips. I quickly returned to my book. See, you have to do something. But remember the girl with the violin we saw on the train to Yogyakarta a few years ago? Of course I remember her. Exactly, she was just a random person that sat across from you on the train. We don't even remember what month it was, and yet we still remember the maroon coat she was wearing, the violin case she put in the overhead compartment, her reddish hair in that pixie cut, Stop it, that was different. And we might have saved ourselves a lot of embarrassment by not talking to her. The thoughts, the noise, the internal dialogue, it won't stop. I was sweating, but not because of the heat. A cold sweat. This had to stop. Stop! I screamed internally. Everything stopped, and just in time. My old iPod randomly shuffled to Explosions in the Spaces. The only moment we were alone. I cranked up the volume, put my book in my bag, and just breathed. Yes, I might lose the chance to meet the one by doing this, but at least as long as I don't know her, she's perfect. As far as I know, she might be listening to explosions in the space. As far as I know, she might be a big fan of Harukami and Final Dreams 9. As far as I know, she might be single. As far as I know, she might be the 100% perfect match for me that I believe can't exist if my knowledge of her goes any farther than what I know right now. Besides, as the old saying goes, if it's meant to be, it will be. The bus stopped in front of Plaza Senayan. I'll go with that. My destination. It was time for me to go. I decided not to look into her direction as I left, knowing that if I looked at her, it would be the last time I ever saw her. That's too hard for a hopeless romantic like me. I left the bus and enjoyed the warm sun and the breeze of fresh air finally out of that metal Schrodinger's box. That's when it happened. I turned my head to the right, and there she was, standing alone, enjoying the breeze. Now she was free of the roasting metal box we humans named bus. She turned her head to the left, showed a glimmer of surprise at seeing me standing there. After that, she smiled. So if it's meant to be, it will be? And we'll never know what happens? You're just gonna leave it there? Good article, Freya. Good article. Let's see. Next one. A stray boy and a lonely cat. Midnight. The boy arrives at his home. The ticking sound of the cooling engine fills the dark, empty garage, followed by the scrape of the rusty metal door being forcefully closed. He leaves the garage, and there she is, waiting for him to come back home. She always waits in the same spot around the same time. The boy always smiles when he sees her. Meow! The cat calls the boy, demanding the treatment she always receives from him every night in the same spot around the same time. He laughs quietly as he walks up to join her. You've been waiting for me, haven't you? Here, come here, says the boy to the cat while he pets her fur. The cat purrs loudly and refuses to stand still. She dances around him, stands up tall on 2 feet, rubs her head against his shins, and shares her affection while enjoying their nightly routine. Until suddenly, the boy decides that their interaction is enough for the day. He stands up and walks away from her, and closes his door. The cat understands that their time for the day is up. They both return to their own lives. The boy did not give the cat something to eat, and the cat did not sleep next to him to help her relax, for she was not his, and he was not hers. Well, that one is just sad. Freya, why would you do this to me? The cat distribution system was trying to give this poor boy a cat, and he said no. Poor little kitty. Loving in silence. It was a Saturday night. As usual, I picked her up from her apartment for another Saturday night date. I used the word another, but to be honest, this was the first actual Saturday night date we've done since I don't even know when. It wasn't every week a cool event related to our hobby happened, so we, or I suppose I should say, weren't going to miss this chance for a cozy evening in her apartment. We'd only been dating for 4 months, and I kid you not, we couldn't have been more different. I'm the type of person who feels restless if I don't go out on the weekends, while she'd prefer to be locked in her apartment from the inside, flush the key down the toilet, and never leave again. I mean, yeah, that works for me. That's why me going out to her apartment on the weekend was the fairest option for both of us. I mean, we can just order food online and chill without having to worry about the traffic. Ain't that cool? That's what she said whenever I asked if she wanted to eat out somewhere. That happened a lot in our first month together. After that, I just tried to get used to it. We drove to the event. It wasn't that far, but the traffic's always ridiculous on the weekend. Throughout the drive, we barely spoke. Total silence, except for the music playing from my playlist. If she knew the song, we would sing along. If not, then total silence it was. When we arrived at the event, she changed. She became the most outgoing, friendly, and talkative person around. Even I was nothing compared to her, and I usually consider myself a very talkative person. We said hi to everyone we knew, some we didn't. Then we tried all the games being showcased there. We sat next to each other, trying one game after another, commenting on the story, art, music, gameplay, atmosphere, any other aspect you might use to judge a game. But when we played, we just played. No talk during the playthrough. Total silence, as if she was recharging spent energy from all the interacting she'd done before. Back in our apartment, we didn't talk much. She made 2 cups of green tea latte for both of us, and then we watched Netflix together with only a few words traded. "Don't you feel bored dating me?" she asked. "Really? This again?" "I know, I'm sorry to bring this up again, but you were so silent today, I thought you were mad at me." "Honey, I'm not mad at you. Why would I be?" "I don't know, it's just that I'm super introverted, you're super extroverted, and there are times when I feel like I'm holding you back from your true self." "You're just overthinking things, honey. Tonight was amazing, and I can't thank you enough for being willing to join me and sacrifice your stay-at-home relaxation time. We both know how much you love staying in and how rarely you get the chance to do it." "Why do you like me?" "You've asked this question a dozen times in the last 4 months, you know." I nudged her and smiled. I just want to make sure," she said, and started crying. Hey, don't be sad, it's okay. And to answer your question, I don't know why I like you." "That answer again." "Because it's true. All I know is I feel comfortable around you. I just feel happy, calm, and I don't know. Do I need to know?" "That sounds dangerous, liking somebody without knowing the reason." "Oh, believe me, dear, I was confused for the longest time before I realized. It's actually the best feeling I've ever had. How about you? Why do you like me?" "Who said I liked you?" I was speechless for a moment. She grinned at me and giggled through the remains of her tears. "You should have seen your face." "Oh my God, don't mess around with me like that. You almost gave me a heart attack." "Good. It means you weren't lying about your feelings," she smiled. "You haven't answered my question." "It's a secret." "That's not fair. I told you mine." "I hate to break it to you, but don't know is not a proper answer, dear." "But it's an honest one." "I know." We stayed silent again. So that was my introverted girlfriend and me. My answer heard was obviously a lie. Not knowing why you like someone is super scary, but I never imagined being able to feel like that for anyone other than her. At least that's how I wish things could be, I thought, as I drove back home, alone in my car, in total silence. It was all a dream. Interesting. Alright, we caught up on all of Freya's stories now. What's new? Okay. Shouldn't you all disappear now? Maybe, maybe not. Welcome. Good evening, sir. Hello. I'm from the Federal Immigration Regulation and Enforcement Division. Or FIRE for short. How may I help you? We've heard reports of alien sightings in this area. No, there were no aliens. We take the issue of illegal interstellar immigration seriously. Have you seen any creatures you would consider to be alien in nature? You, sir. I don't think so. Well, what should I be looking for? What's the alien look like? We're not 100% sure. But according to some eyewitnesses, it's wearing a spacesuit or something similar. That's a pretty eye-catching outfit. You'd think an illegal alien would try to blend in better, right? To avoid attention, you know. That is a very good point. In fact, there might be a solid possibility that we've been running around after false testimonies. They are superior creatures, after all. Thank you for your help. If you see any suspicious activities, please contact us through our website. Will do, sir. You don't want to drink anything before leaving? We're good. Take care on your way. You didn't want a buy drink, get a free donut. What is this? Nonsense, sir. Nonsense. You really need to be more careful, Neil. Alright, does it say here? Good evening, working. Yup. Hello, Miss Aqua, Miss Myrtle. Have you both been somewhere together? We planned to meet here. It's just a coincidence we arrived at the same time. Would you like to order anything? Do you want to order first? Nah, you go first. Okay. Can I have a cup of green tea with a lot of mint? Sure. Let's see, we need a base of green tea. And mint. And mint, I would assume. Is that a new one, I wonder? Your drink's ready. Oh, this looks really fresh. I call this Marrakech, inspired by its origin. Marrakech? In Morocco? I heard the people there really love tea. Let's give this a try then. Oh my, it's warm but very refreshing. No wonder Morocco is often associated with tea. How about you, Miss Myrtle? Do you want to order right away? Sure. I'll have the Tetarik. And I'm looking at my little cheat because I do not remember these things. Oh, but I probably had it in the menu. No, anyways. Ooh. Here's your Tetarik. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that works. Huh? Is there anything wrong? No. It's better than I thought it would be, actually. The taste is really authentic. Just like the Tetarik you get in Southeast Asia. Thank you for the compliment. Where did you learn to make it? I traveled around Southeast Asia a few years ago. So you learned about it in Malaysia? Yeah, and from the videos on the internet. So, how are things going in the office? As usual, tiring. But thanks to you and your team, we made some good progress with a problem we've been stuck on for a while. I'm glad I could be of help. Not every day our research can have an impact as direct as this. Only a few weeks after publication, no less. The thing is, even with your help, we still need to do a ridiculous amount of overtime. Make sure the game will be available for the holiday season. Oh, I want to say please don't forget to rest. I'm sure it won't be that easy for you and the team. Huh. As if those executives care about us. Overtime is not mandatory, they'll say. Please see your family, get some rest. But we all know that optional overtime is a passive-aggressive move. We'll stay longer in the office anyway, because if you go home earlier than the others, you'll feel bad for them. You'll feel guilty. I understand that so much. I hate to admit it, but yeah, it's guilt. I wish I could help you. At least say something to boost your morale. Sadly, I'm not the right person to give you advice about that. And guilt is something that also bothers me a lot. Even for things I shouldn't feel guilty about. And you know what makes it worse? I know the state of the industry, but it still saddens me to realize that my favorite series was born out of such sacrifice. I'm sorry, I'm in the mood for everyone. Don't worry about it, Aqua. I'm not that bad off, you know. At least the company gives us decent compensation. Healthcare, bonuses, and so on. We're already used to this, so don't you worry about me, okay? Getting used to unhealthy working conditions shouldn't be a norm. Amen. Hey, cheer up. Remember, your research helped us out a lot. Thanks to you, the rest of the development is going to be much easier. How's your game doing, by the way? Actually, I have some good news about it. What is it? The game got approved to be showcased at Max West this year. That's really good news. Congrats. Thank you. So, what's the problem then? I haven't confirmed my attendance to the organizer. Why? Confirm it fast, before they give your spot up to another indie. I'm just not sure about it. What's stopping you? Cost? The booth is free for indies. That's good then, and the event's even in Seattle. You don't need to spend anything on travel or accommodation. It's a golden ticket. But I'm not that confident. You passed the selection process, right? That should be enough validation to reassure you that the game's quality. If I'm not mistaken, the judges are usually prolific people in the industry, and also senior journalists. I know, but I told you about my game, right? It's pretty non-traditional, and thousands of people will be visiting Max, expecting Full Metal Conflict or other bigger games. Every game has its own market, you know, and you'll be in the indie area. People know what to expect there. Gamers aren't stupid. But what if some haters visit the booth? What if they don't like my game and say bad things about it? Or about me? That's not gonna happen. It's an expo, not the internet. People are way nicer in real life. Even after all that, I'll still be there by myself for the whole event. That one is a problem, yeah. Meeting that many people is already scary enough. Doing it for 4 days straight? Showing my baby to the public? I just can't imagine the horror. You know what? Huh. So far, my schedule's pretty empty around then. If things stay this way until Max, I'll come with you. No, you don't have to do that. Even if you're free then. You shouldn't waste your time on me. Relax or something. Nah, it's no bother. I'll be going to the event anyway. Might as well come with an exhibitor badge. What about your company's booth? Don't worry about it. There are hundreds of us. I can just ask my leave to skip this year. But... I'm coming with you. Whether you like it or not. Oh, okay. Good. Now, what are you going to show the game on? I'll have a laptop and a smartphone. Is the Expo build ready? Expo build? You're not planning to showcase the full version, right? That's the plan. Don't. I can give you the guidelines on what to have for the Expo build. Do you have the game with you now? It's on my phone. I can send you the build now if you want. Go ahead. Okay. Got it. Now, let's see. Hello, Miss Rachel. Hi, Lurking. What's wrong? Huh? Nothing. I've just been practicing all day and I'm pretty tired. Are you having a concert soon? Don't tell anyone yet. It'll be announced tomorrow. But I'm going to be performing at Coachella next week. They're still adding new performers? Yeah, you might say that those announced this late are backups. Oh. But it's still the biggest festival in the country. Yeah. And I'm excited for it. I think I should celebrate with a special drink. Something sweet. What do you want to order? A sweet hot chocolate. Oh, got it. Let's see. No? I think we do 2 notes. Double check that. Interesting. We haven't made anything other than the dark chocolate. Well, let's see what double milk and a chocolate do. Well, it's not very sweet, so maybe we could try... You know what, we're going to go with this. Oh, we can do latte art. Let's see how terrible we can make it. I wonder if turning it helps with how things... Let's try this. I should never try to be a barista, because clearly I do not know what I'm doing. It almost looks like a flower kind of thing. Pour it, drop right in the middle. I called this weird looking flower. Your sweet hot chocolate is ready. Thank you. How is it? Not bad. It's not special. Oh my goodness. But it's enough. What makes it special? Please don't hesitate to call me if you need anything else. Wonder if it says anything here. I have no clue. I'm pretty. Whatever. It was chocolate. It was hot. It had weird art. It's special. Other than the instructions on the loading screen, try putting a time limit on how long they can play. Why? Wouldn't that break their immersion? Probably. But in case there's a good reaction to it, you might have people lining up to play your game. You don't want to make them wait too long. That makes sense. If you don't want to put a time limit on it, try ending the demo with a cliffhanger. That should get people's attention. Noted. Dad? What are you doing here? After what you did at the studio this evening, I was worried I couldn't find you anywhere around the studio, so I thought you'd be in here. And now you're causing another ruckus. We're sorry, Lurking. We didn't mean to cause you any problems. You are sorry. I don't have anything to be sorry for. Well, anyway, I better order something. What are you having? What would you recommend? Might I suggest a cup of Spanish Sahara? Oh, what is that? It's basically hot chocolate with milk and ginger. Sounds delicious. I'll take that Spanish Sahara. Alright, chocolate, milk, and ginger, she said. Peru. Oh, that does look pretty. They are very cute, Jan. Your drink is ready, sir. My. This is amazing. Glad you liked it. Ginger chocolate? Ginger and chocolate usually go pretty good together, so I think it'd probably be pretty good. It'd be like dipping a gingerbread man in your hot chocolate, which is always good. Thank you, Drax. That is such a cute emote. Dad? Yes? Please just go home after you finish your drink. Not until you leave that good-for-nothing pervert. Oh my goodness. Hendry. I like making the cozy friends bigger. It's so cute. They just look so happy together. Hendry, what pervert? I need him. He's going to help me become more successful. Let's see, what did happen? I know we kind of talked with him about how to date. That being said, spoilers. Hopefully this week, hopefully tomorrow, but ideally sometime this week, I am going to open the YouTube VOD channel, which I've just been uploading VODs to YouTube, and they're all on private right now because I wanted to make sure everything is good to go and nervous, but you should be able to go back and watch, ideally. So, yeah. But, yeah, I just have to double check everything. And maybe one day, if I have energy, brains, and enthusiasm, I will try actually editing a video once in a while. Sounds like a lot of work, but, you know, it's a dream to at least try it once. Although, today started off with the FIRE coming and looking for an alien who's been walking around. Sounded a lot like Neil, so yeah. Awkward. We didn't rat him out. I know Morris. He is not a good person. The industry has changed, Dad. It's not like 20 years ago. Besides, since you left, he's been growing his brand, making his name, managing a lot of the stars so they become superstars. I still have my informants in the industry. He hasn't changed much. And even if he has, it wasn't for the better. You're just being paranoid. First, you were afraid of how my fans would treat me. Now you're afraid of the industry too. What's next? You'll lock me in the house because you're afraid of the air I'm breathing? You're just too young to understand. Henry, I think you're way too old to... Are you being dramatic down there, little boy? Andy's doing the big sighs. I think he's upset that we're not couch cuddling 24/7, which is truly, truly a crime against humanity and him in particular. Sleepy little boy. Then make me understand, because this is definitely not helping. There are better ways. Didn't you learn anything from Mom? You were together for almost 15 years, but you learned nothing. Not even how to talk to your own daughter. Rachel, I'm sorry, but I'm trying, okay? Try harder. Because right now, you're not helping anyone. Not me, not you, no one. I know, but give me a chance. You know what? It will take time for me to learn. But I am learning. Or, I could return to the industry. I could try to be your manager. Dad, are you out of your mind? You've been out of touch for so long? I told you I have informants there. Sir, you're making it sound like this is a spy thing. Calm down. I'm not that out of touch. Of course, there are things I need to figure out. But it doesn't work that way, Dad. You know that. Going from a girl band to a solo career won't be easy. If I take things slow, I'll lose all my momentum. If you don't want me to be your manager, can you at least choose someone other than Morris? I don't think so. Mr. Lester is at the height of his career now. He's my best chance right now. Don't be too paranoid, okay? I've made my decision. Now, please go home. Relax. And don't ever come to the studio again. I'm going back there. I need to practice for the festival. It's only a few days away. And it's a big chance to boost my presence as a solo artist. When are you going to be home? I don't know. I'll be staying at the hotel the label provided. But that's... See you, Dad. Wait, Rachel... Excuse me for a minute lurking. I'm sorry about what just happened. You don't have to apologize. Yeah, we were busy minding our own business anyway. What? You didn't hear the argument, Myrtle? Of course I heard them. I just chose to ignore most of it. It's none of my business, is it? That's amazing. What's so amazing about that? I don't think I can do that. Dividing and focusing my attention so completely? Especially when there's an argument like that. Are you saying you weren't listening to my advice and you were focusing on them instead? listening to any notes? See, you didn't even realize. But you are capable of focusing your attention. Now that you mention it, it happens naturally, I guess. Being born in a big family is useful after all. Yeah, sometimes we don't even realize what we're capable of doing. By the way, you want to head back now? Yeah, it's pretty late. Yo, Birkin, we're leaving. Hope you had a good time. Thank you for the drinks as usual. Please take care on your way home. I guess that's all for... Oh, you're back, Mr. Henry. Are you alright, sir? Sir? Oh. Yes. Please don't worry about me. Did you manage to catch up with Miss Rachel? No. I lost her. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm sure she's alright. I hope you're right. By the way, pardon me for asking. Yes? Throughout your argument with Miss Rachel, something kept bugging me. What's that? Why did you leave the music industry? Now that's a trip down memory lane. You don't have to tell me if it makes you uncomfortable. Oh no, it's fine. I left around 20 years ago, just as we were welcoming the beginning of the new millennium. It was a great time for girl bands, you know. They were huge in the 90s. And they were still enjoying the leftover sensation of the past decade. I met my wife while working. She worked for a record label. That's how we met. I decided to get married and settle down. I wanted a peaceful life. You didn't find peace managing girl bands? Oh gosh, no. The politics, the dark side of the industry, none of it's good. But what hit me the hardest was the fans. Toxic fans are the worst. The teenage girls especially. They were crazy about their idols. To the point where they'd start doing really unimaginable stuff. Like what? Spending all their money trying to copy the superstar lifestyle, abandoning their responsibilities, their families. And the men, they were even worse. They sexualized the girls in every way you could possibly imagine. Edited photos, stalking, outright sexual assault. It was before the internet, mind you. I mean, the internet existed, but it wasn't as mainstream as it is now. It wasn't even the target of the abuse. I wasn't even the target of abuse. But it haunted me. It was everywhere. Don't talk to me about peace. I couldn't sleep back then. Not getting enough sleep is dangerous for cats. What do you do for a living now? After we got married, my wife and I opened a record store. It's not big, but we have a very specific audience. We're niche, but they love us for it. It's more than enough for our little family. You said you're still in touch with your friends in the music industry. They visit my place from time to time, and we all meet up at least once a year. Usually, it's at my place. Gosh, look at the time. I should go home too. Are you gonna be alright by yourself? Don't worry about me. I'm an old cat. We're stronger than most people think. See you later, Lurking. And sorry for bringing our fight to your place. Don't worry about it. Alright then, goodbye. Coachella organizers reminds parents not to allow their children to attend unsupervised. Rachel Florentia confirmed to perform at Coachella 2020. I'm assuming it's Couchella. Gil Naiman and Maruki Harukami could collaborate for a new IP. Let's see. Do we have any new stories today? Yeah. Okay, just the one. Is this as far as it goes? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 10. The only reason to learn how to fly. It happened again, I told her, as I exhaled smoke. What? I took the train once to get here and fell in love twice. Not this again. She sighed, looking like she wanted to stub her cigarette out on my face. I just can't help it. She said nothing. It's way easier, you know, seeing someone from afar, letting your imagination roam as you daydream about he or she lives, ignoring the fact that what you see is not the way they really are. It's way easier. You can't keep doing this to yourself. You know you need something real. I mean, this might be a stupid suggestion, but you're still using that dating app, right? Try to be more open-minded while you use it. I agree. Good. I agree it was a stupid suggestion. She looks pissed. I couldn't blame her. It's not like this was the first time we talked about this. We do, Chan. I absolutely need to recreate that emote. In fact, this conversation tends to happen around once a season. You need to stop overthinking, go out and stop putting impossible expectations on people. You know I can't do that. I've tried. I get overexcited at any opportunity. And how's that served you so far? Now I was the one who said nothing. I'm afraid, I said. Of what? Of what'll come later. I'm afraid that even if I find the right person for me, the people around me won't accept them, whoever they are. Fuck the people around you. Another stupid suggestion. I could be jailed for that. I like that idea, Drax. Who gets to create Skibidi Toilet? The emote? No, I don't think so. Let's look at it. Click. Oh, that one's so fun. Excuse me, ma'am. Now's not the time. Pardon me. Sorry about that. I can do my best, Drax. I will write that down, though. Let's see. Anything calming. And there. Throw that there. Alrighty. We make a toilet. I will definitely see what I can do. Copy that and put that in with the note. And then every time Captain goes on break and tells us to go poop, we just spam that one. That would be funny. I'll eventually get around to all the things. I'm hoping Mondays will be drawing days, so we'll see how those go. I have this list and I haven't been able to decide which things to go with next, but that could be fun. So, yeah, I'll get around to things eventually. I think one of the tough things is that the longer emotes like that are hard to get zoomed in to actually kind of get a good idea of what they look like. And I don't know if BTTV lets you do anything other than a square. I haven't tried that yet. I might have, and I just don't remember, but yeah. That's a thing to, yeah. But yes, that would be really cute. And then while I'm at it, just make all of us skibbities. Okay, let's see, back to the story. Let's see. Okay, he's scared of what will come later. I'm afraid that even if I find the right person for me, the people around me won't accept them. Whoever they are. Fuck the people around you. Another stupid suggestion that I could be jailed for. Okay, she took a long drag of her cigarette and narrowed her eyes at me. What happened to you recently? Well, you don't usually overthink quite this much, so something must have just happened. The truth is, something did happen. Something too silly to even be discussed. But she knew me, she knew about my problems, so I told her. I watched a stand-up comedy show. Seriously? It's true, I watched one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I know he'd recently gotten married to someone he loves, so I thought was very similar to him. All this time, I thought he took the easy way out, finding someone who would quickly be accepted by the family he was born in, and the family he's about to make. But it turned out his journey was far from easy. There were hardships I never knew he faced. When he talked about it, it scared me. Why? The fact that I'll have to deal with it someday, the fact that I might have to choose between... At least when I see people on the train and imagine a life with them, those imaginary people don't create these kinds of problems. They do create a different kind of problem, though. She's right. You know, sometimes I feel like I want to go to the tallest building in the city and just jump. To die? That's not to fly, you fool. Because if that really happened, all the things that are scaring me won't matter. I can fly. Why the hell would I still care about all these boring everyday problems? Ain't that the dream, weirdo? She said as she lit her cigarette, leaving the discussion unresolved until it comes back around with the spring rains. I don't know how flying is suddenly going to fix all its problems, but Cool. Good for him. Sorry, we're not open yet. Oh, Neil, you've come very early today. Is there anything I can help you with? There is definitely something that you can do. What is it? Can we work here? Excuse me, what? Is it possible for us to work here? Why? We have learned something precious since we first arrived here. Communication is very important on Earth. And Earthlings communicate in a very complicated way. It blows our mind to learn what you need to mix between verbal and nonverbal communication here. Yes, but I can see that your communication skill has improved an awful lot since you arrived. That is true, but it is not enough. Some of the biggest lessons about Earthlings we have learned. We learned from here. This made us think. Instead of focusing on finding a breeding partner, we should focus on learning how to communicate with Earthlings properly. Good butt, Siri. Good butt. Come in here and calling my viewers cheap. We should focus on learning how to communicate with Earthlings properly. Sounds like a good strategy. That is why we asked you to allow us to work here. Because you want to interact with our customers? That is correct. I'm not sure about this. You know, normally if you're applying for a job on Earth, you have to go through certain processes before you finally get the job, if you get it at all. Oh. Let me think this over if you don't mind. And I'll let you know tomorrow. Oh, no. We are sorry for our spontaneity, but it has to be today. May I know why? Because we are leaving for an event tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. But with one condition. You won't be making any of the drinks. I'll handle that. Once I'm done, you will give the cup to the customer. Understood. There are other things you need to keep in mind. What is that? Dealing with the customers. Some people come here just to chill. They might come just for a drink, work, or to eat something. I strongly suggest you let them be. But always be prepared if they want to talk about anything. How can we know whether people want to be left alone or not? That won't be easy. But you'll be able to judge based on their body language. Non-verbal signs? Yes. That will be very hard for us. Indeed. Don't worry. I'll give you a sign. When you should start talking or when you should stop. Thank you. We will need that so much. Well, that's basically all you need to do here. Do we need a special outfit to do the job? Not really. I'll lend you an apron, though, to help keep your suit clean, and to differentiate you from the customers. You don't really need more differentiation, but it will make you look more legit for the job. That is a very Earthling thing to do. It is. Alright then. Are you ready for this? We are. Okay, let's start the night.
Welcome.
Holy wow! What the hell is happening?
Good evening, Miss Freya.
Hey, Lurking, what's going on here? Well, Neil is working here tonight. And I thought I was the one who brought bad news. I never thought this place would be ground zero for an alien invasion. It's not bad. Neil's just helping out. You never look like someone who needs help.
There are a few things to clarify, Miss Freya. First, our mission was never about conquering Earth. In fact, it is the other way around. Second, judging from the situation, we are actually the person who is getting help from the barista, not the other way around.
What?
We have learned some things since we arrived, and we came to a conclusion. Before starting another breeding mission, we should learn more about how Earthlings communicate. We thought this place was best to learn.
And you just agreed to this? On one condition. I make the drinks. Neil will only be here to serve and communicate. Fair trade. What's in it for you then?
What?
You're helping them here. What do you get in return?
Now that you mention it, if there's anything you want from us, please do not hesitate to ask.
Don't mention it. Well, maybe you can be my next story. I can write an article about your work here. Freya, if I still need to write for the paper again. What happened? The chief found out. Oh. Is that why you didn't come yesterday? Yes. How did you find out? You remember my fateful meeting with the higher-up? In the elevator? Yeah. The same thing happened with my chief. They met each other in the lift. And the higher-up mentioned our encounter to her. The chief called me into her office. And things went downhill from there. She realized immediately that it was the reason for my poor performance lately. She didn't like it, of course. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you going to do now? Write the goddamn novel, I guess. And after that, hope that it sells well. If not, I don't know.
We do not understand what is really happening, Miss Freya, but we feel the immense sadness and frustration you feel. How about a warm cup of drink? It is on the house.
Huh? You allowed to do that?
We will pay for the drink.
No, it's okay. It's on the house. That was a nice thing to do, Neil.
That was the best thing to do according to our senses.
It was.
So what do you want to drink, Miss Freya?
Your favorite.
Our favorite?
Anything. I trust you with the decision. Anything? Interesting. I remember she likes really energetic-y things, but she hasn't said... What do we pick? What do we pick? What do we pick? We're gonna do coffee, coffee, and ginger. See what happens there. What does it make? Cool.
Here is your drink. Especially crafted by the owner of this coffee shop.
Well, who else is gonna brew it?
Thank you so much for this. Always wondered why your place only served hot drinks. But today I might have an idea why.
How far along are you with the novel?
I can prepare the draft in a few days, I think.
Now that I don't really need to care about other deadlines. And if I manage to infuse some coffee and creativity into my blood, that sounds doable. Even without the caffeine infusion.
Excuse me, Miss Freya. We have learned extensively about Earthlings' bodies, about all the races, and we do not think infusing your blood with coffee would be advisable.
True, Neil, true. I'm sorry, Neil. I'm not really in the mood for this sort of conversation.
It was just... Neil.
Freya wasn't serious about infusing herself with coffee.
Oh. We are glad to hear that, then.
That was a figure of speech, Neil.
We have heard about that term. It is still very hard to understand your language.
It will always be hard. Languages will keep on changing.
Understood. At least we are here now to learn the basics of how Earthlings communicate. Miss Freya, if we may ask...
Ask away.
How fast do you write?
Not fast enough, apparently.
But do you have numbers? Numbers? How many words do you produce per day?
I don't think I have the exact number. But full time, I should be able to write between 3,000 and 5,000 words a day. That's a lot. That's raw. After that, I still need to edit it. I usually end up with about half of what I originally wrote.
According to our research, the standard number of words for the things you need to write is between 50 and 100,000.
That's right. But for this draft, I don't need to write that much.
That is pleasant information to hear. How many words do you need to write?
Let's see. I think it should be around 15,000 words. That's pretty big for a pitch draft. Well, it's GRA Media, the biggest publisher around.
If we count based on the number of words, it seems like you will be able to achieve your target easily.
I wish. Writing isn't only about the number of words, Neil. It requires things outside the mere word count. If we only judged writers by their ability to write a large number of words, then we wouldn't have poetry or short stories.
That is pretty hard to understand. But we learned beforehand that art is a difficult matter, even for Earthlings. Yep. Earthlings seem to have a fascination for things which are hard to understand, from languages to arts.
Right again. But you're not that wrong about writing, you know. Word count is one of the few things you can objectively judge a story by. It's not the most important thing, but it's still up there.
So it is still a valid parameter.
Definitely.
Cool.
That didn't sound like you at all, Neil. I guess you really are learning something on Earth.
Oh, another guest. Good evening, Miss Bertle.
I won't even ask. Except for one thing. Who's making the drinks? I'm still the one responsible for that. Good. Coffee with a little bit of ginger, please. Hey, isn't that what I just made? Freya? I think so.
Your order is ready.
Not bad. Thanks.
You are welcome. What brings you here today, Miss Myrtle?
Neil, some people come to the coffee shop just to sit without being disturbed.
Oh, that definitely seems to fit Miss Myrtle's visits here.
Actually, I'm not here to just sit without being disturbed. Ah. Pardon us. I was just training Neil in how to talk with the customers here. I can see that. You're still trying to get laid?
Oh. No, we are not. We are tasked with learning how Earthlings communicate with each other.
Yeah, that's a step in the right direction. One suggestion, if you want to blend in with us, stop using such formal language. Start talking the way we talk. Start listening the way we listen, which essentially is not really listening at all.
That would be very difficult to achieve, but we will try. Step by step.
One small step for you might be one giant leap for your kind.
That was nicely said, Miss Freya. By the way, Miss Myrtle, now that we know you are not here for your usual activities, are you here for someone then?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Aqua?
Uh-huh.
What's the occasion?
No special occasion. It's just... I'm sorry. I'm late. I was supposed to leave early, but... what is this?
What is happening here?
I already told the barista to call the cops when he's... What? To call the cop when he said he was going to breed here. Where's Lurking? Miss Aqua, please relax. I'm here. Oh, you're safe. Yes, everything is fine. Okay. Please let me take a breath. Here, please drink this water. Feeling better now?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It is all right, Miss Aqua. Everyone has been surprised to see me here.
What are you doing here anyway?
We are starting to think that we might need to make a recording for the answer to this question.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
No problem, Miss Aqua. It is time for our break anyway. So, here is the deal.
That really is interesting. Very nice of you to do this, Lurking. It's nothing, really. But do you really think one day is enough to learn everything?
Definitely not. but we do not want to disturb this place's business for any longer.
As if this place cares about business.
Besides, we want to travel around the planet more. This coffee shop is a good start, but we cannot limit ourselves just to this place.
Where do you want to go after this?
Coachella.
What? What are you going to do at Coachella?
According to our research, there are many breeding happenings during Coachella. That is why we decided that the event will be our next target.
Well, you're not wrong. But didn't you say the baby has to be born out of love?
Yes, we noticed that. But we also noticed that we need to know a lot more about Earthlings, including the breeding manners. That is what we will study in Coachella. After that, we will be very ready to breed with so many female Earthlings.
I shouldn't say this, but hell, it sounds like the best plan you've had since you got here.
We know. We also surprised ourselves. But please, Miss Freya, let us stop talking about our plan. We work here today. First, let us return to our spot behind the bar. So our discussion with Miss Myrtle was stopped abruptly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What are you two doing together?
It's nothing, we're just friends, you know.
We just want to hang out or talk about our work. We both work in the same field, remember?
Yes, that's it. I don't have that much experience in game development, you see.
I thought your research was in computer graphics. Yes, but I never made a game from scratch before. I was always a bystander. So I've been asking Myrtle for feedback from time to time. Today I wanted to thank her directly, but she arrived first, so I couldn't buy her a drink. Never mind that. I'd refuse it anyway. But wait, if you want to thank her directly, does it mean you're done with the game?
Excuse me, it's Freya. It should be your, not your.
Oh, so you are correcting my grammar now, huh? It was a slip of the tongue, okay? I'm sorry. What, Captain? You're not interested in aliens going to Coachella to observe mating habits of humans? Or is it the your and your? How did you pick up on that anyway? It's not like what I'm saying is written down anywhere.
We just know.
Back to you, Aqua. So, you're done with your game? There's quite a lot of things I need to polish and fix. The players can enjoy the experience from start to finish. What kind of feedback do you give people for a video game? That depends on the game. But in Aqua's case, most of my advice is about the pacing, control, and UI UX. Must be fun to have finished working on your creation. I'm sure it surely removes some of the weight on my chest, just to replace it with another weight. You mean there's still more to come after you're done? I'm not done with my book. I just lost my job. And if I can't finish this draft on time, I'm done. And even after all that, if it doesn't sell well, I'm even more done. Doubly done. I'm sorry to hear that, Freya. But please be more confident. I'm even starting to doubt myself. I read some of your short stories, you know, after our first meeting. I subscribed to the Evening Whispers app, and then I read some of the stuff you wrote. They're really good, you know. Some of them are better than others, but still it's an enjoyable experience to read them.
so I'm excited to check out your book once it's done. You're too kind, Aqua. What you're going through is more or less the same as what Myrtle's going through. So I'm sure you'll both be fine.
You don't have to talk about it in front of other people.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just that sharing is caring, you know.
Okay. Thank you for helping me share with other people.
I really am sorry.
I know, I said thanks already, right?
But you put so much emphasis on share. That's sarcasm, I know that.
Aqua. I'm sorry if I sounded that way. But yeah, I kind of get what you're dealing with. Although it's a bit different for me.
What's your problem?
Burnout. I've been working on something for 2 years straight. But no one outside the office knows about it. And those who do don't seem to appreciate it at all.
I thought Full Metal Conflict had a new game every 2 years.
Yep. I don't really work on them. Not directly.
So, what do you work on?
A secret project. I'll tell you under... Frenda. NDA. Okay?
Alright, I'm not with the paper anymore anyway.
I'm part of a special team. We're tasked with making a breakthrough in the studio. We need to be able to make a prototype for a new IP. Or worst case, another FMC game in a different genre.
Isn't that a dream job for some people?
That's what I thought at first. You're a writer, right? Imagine being a writer, but you can't publish anything you write. For years.
That doesn't sound like a pleasant situation at all.
My team's been making pitches, dozens of them, hundreds, thousands. Out of all those countless pitches, only a handful got approved for prototyping. And so far, none of the prototypes have been approved.
Ouch.
There's only 7 of us on the team. The 7 samurai, that's what they said.
So you haven't released anything for the last 2 years?
Sometimes our team works to support others. When they're going through a crunch cycle, they need to hit an almost impossible target. We jump in.
No wonder you folks were considered the 7 samurai.
I guess, yeah.
By the way, Myrtle, I just realized.
What?
Usually developers get their vacation time after finishing a project, right?
More or less, yeah.
When was the last time you had a vacation?
Before I joined the company, I guess.
That's like 4 years ago!
Mm-hmm.
Dude, no wonder you're so burned out. Yeah, that's why. You need a vacation.
But I can't just take one.
You can. In fact, you will do it tomorrow.
But tomorrow is...
I'm not done yet. You will take tomorrow, the day after, and another day after off.
But where should I go?
Don't worry, I'll take care of that.
You will?
I'm going with you for this long weekend vacation.
What about Max West?
That's not this weekend. Forget about it for now.
Hey, okay. But I can't do it tomorrow. How about starting Friday? It's still a long weekend getaway, right?
Alright. Oh, I'm so excited!
Wow, Aqua. You look like a different person.
Really? I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, it's settled then. I need to go home now and prepare for our getaway.
I'll come with you.
My apartment?
No, we'll walk together to the bus stop, just like last time.
Okay then. Everyone, see you next week, okay? Have fun. Take care out there. May you find joy during your vacation.
Okay, see you folks later. Vacation, huh? You definitely need one, Freya. I know, but not now. I've got to finish this draft first.
As we have said before, you can do it, Miss Freya.
Thanks, Neo. Anyway, are you going to close anytime soon?
Depends.
Why? I'm in the mood for some writing. Then please take your time. You sure? Do you want another drink to be going on with? Still on the house? I definitely won't say no. You know what? I just looked to see how many days. I thought I only had one day left, but clearly I have a couple more. Looks like from what I'm seeing, there is 3 more days left. So we can try to finish this on Thursday. Because my throat's getting a little sore and, yeah, a little tired. This was fun, and I had a lot of fun chatting with everybody. Oh, it also looks like, if I am seeing this correctly, Captain's getting ready to start, so we can go pop over there, see what kind of trouble he gets into, spam some skibbities, you know, the usual. The usual. So, yeah. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out and chatting and watching the coffee talk. We'll hopefully finish this on Thursday, and then we'll probably start Love Ghosty next Tuesday, if everything goes well. Don't forget about the Discord is now open, and yeah, hopefully I will see you tomorrow for We Play Wednesday, which, let's see, what did I say? Oh, that's right. I'm going to be playing Plate Up with Twitch chat being able to order. I have only played a little bit of the tutorial for Plate Up, so should be fun. Yeah, exciting, brand new stuff. Anyways, yeah. Let me get the ending scene going. And let's see. We'll get this and let's see. Copy. If you happen to have it, might I recommend using this, because Captain loves loves Skibidi. But if you don't have it, the first raid message will work great. And yeah. Let's see. Oh, and I have to actually start the raid. That would help. That would help. You're welcome, Drax. Thanks for coming and hanging out and chatting. It was really fun. You too, and I will see you over at Captain's. Let's see. Oh, look, and he popped right up. How often does that happen? Yes. Stretch and hydrate. Got it. Will do.